everyone, and welcome to this new review for my channel, The Mental Traveler. Today I'm going to be talking about a series of books and movies that are very, very close to my heart. Harry Potter. I shall be reviewing all 7 novels and the 8 films. This will be a review with mild spoilers. Unlike many children, I did not grow up reading and watching Harry Potter. I knew about it, of course, but I was forbidden to watch and read it. Still, I saw the first movie once at my friend's house in secret, and I even attempted to go to the movie theater for the 4th one, but that plan failed. It wasn't until I was 15 or 16 that everything thankfully changed. As I've said in other videos, as a teenager, I had a big crush on Gary Oldman, and that led me to watch every single movie he'd appeared on. Luckily for me, by that time I realized that he was in Harry Potter. The rules at my house had changed, and now it was alright to see or read Harry Potter. So I remember going to see Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix at the movie theater and falling more in love with Gary Oldman, who plays Sirius Black. And since I already loved reading by this time, I decided to give the books a try. Bought them all. I even remember they didn't have the 6th one at the bookstore, so I bought it from a friend. Anyways, I also remember the first moment I read the first page of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. It was during one of my classes in middle school, and by the time I reached the ending of the first paragraph, I was hooked, finding the British humor adorable. What I'm talking about here is, of course, the line, "Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Privet Drive were proud to say that they were perfectly normal. Thank you very much." So that's how my experience with Harry Potter really began. I devoured the books and the movies. I rewatched them and reread them. At one point, when I reached the ending of the 7th one, I would go back at once to read the first one. It was insane. And when I first read them, the 7th book had already come out, but I still shared with other fellow fans the anticipation of waiting for the movies to be released, because I had to wait for 6, 7, and 8 to come out, and I was imagining and speculating all of these theories about what they would show, how they would do some scene and stuff. So I don't know if I've mentioned this before in other videos, but I really only like to read novels in English. I am quite thankful to Harry Potter for this, because they were my really important books that I read when I was still struggling to read without a dictionary. Moving on though, there are 2 more things I would like to say regarding my experience with Harry Potter. First is that J.K. Rowling is a big role model for me in several ways. Not only is she a strong, courageous woman I look up to, but as an aspiring writer, I find her story fascinating. I love reading and watching documentaries about her, to imagine her facing these hard problems in her life, and then how she just came up with this magical world, and then seeing her determination to get published, and then her triumph. I'm so thankful for her for giving the world fantastic creation. And well, the last thing I wanted to say before I begin with my review has to do with my favorite character slash storyline from this world. I am referring to Severus Snape. I'm not sure at what point he became my favorite character, but I'm guessing it happened early on because of his love for Lily Evans. My heart, my attention, and my allegiances were won by Severus. I sort of linked him to a Byronic hero because he resembled Heathcliff in a way from Wuthering Heights. Anyways, I love reading fanfiction. One day I decided to search for some Severus and Lily fanfic stories. This was years ago, but I was so lucky that the first fanfic I ever encountered was the only one I've ever read, because it's just pure gold. It's called Lily and the Half-Blood Prince by Green Eyes 117. It has a sequel called The Half-Blood Prince. But yes, anyways, the first one covers from the moment that Lily and Severus met until the summer before their 7th and last year at Hogwarts. The sequel has not yet been completed, but I hope that when it does, and if it does, it covers up until time of Philosopher's Stone. But yes, anyways, this fanfic story is so good. I even enjoy it more than reading the original books. For me, it's my personal headcanon of what happened before the first book, and so it's so well done, and it gives such a depth to the characters of Severus and Lily. And now, as a law, before I read the books, I always read the fanfic of Severus first, because in a way, this becomes an experience of reading Severus' story more than Harry's. And just as some brief side notes, when I went to England, I visited the castle where they filmed the Quidditch training between Harry and Oliver Wood. It's called Alnwick. And I also went to the Elephant House, which is one of the places where J.K. Rowling worked on her first Harry Potter book back in the 90s. And there I had the best dessert ever: chocolate cake, hot chocolate, and vanilla ice cream. And I even wrote "I love Snape" on the mirror in the girls' bathroom. Finally, I still have to visit the Wizarding World of Harry Potter because I want to taste butterbeer and visit Hogsmeade and get my own Hedwig stuffed animal. At least I already have my Severus Snape wand. Story of Harry Potter, a young wizard with an unusual characteristic. For one, He doesn't know at the start of the series that he's a wizard. He also has a lightning-shaped scar on his forehead, which is a reminder of how he managed to survive a killing curse when he was 1 year old, making him the first person ever to achieve this. The wizard who wanted to murder him is called Lord Voldemort, or He Who Must Not Be Named. He's the main villain of the series, which spans several years. We follow Harry as he goes to Hogwarts, a wizard in school. There he not only learns a lot of magic and thinks about his past, but we also follow him throughout all of these adventures, meeting a lot of unforgettable characters. Overall, I give the Harry Potter books and movies 5 out of 5 stars reviews. They aren't perfect. For example, I get in the books the feeling that Rowling sometimes contradicts herself because maybe she doesn't remember she'd said something different before. Movies are really well done with great special effects, costumes. They can't of course cover everything that happens in the books. Still, I love Harry Potter to death. Both books and movies. I shall briefly review each one of them. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, because they are the introduction to the magical world, and one can't help but feel like Harry as we stepped into Hogwarts and Diagon Alley, falling in love with every single thing about it. Also, whenever I read it, I am reminded of The Once and Future King by T.H. White and The Sun in Sharon K. Penman, because Harry during his first year at Hogwarts, and in a way Dumbledore too, they remind me of Richard III and of King Arthur from these other books, and their relationship with Merlin the Magician or with other older characters. I think that Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is my least favorite book and movie. It still makes me laugh a lot, especially Gilderoy Lockhart. I've always enjoyed this one because of the famous twist about Sirius Black's storyline, and because Gary Oldman appeared in it for the first time, and because it's the first book that really starts to shed more light into the Marauders generation. This one is so exciting because of the Triwizard Tournament, the Quidditch World Cup, the Yule Ball, the big fight towards the end. It's great to see the characters that we like leaving childhood behind and going to parties, and it just gets darker, and it's the perfect breaking point between the early innocent books and the more dark that come afterwards. I've always felt that this one is my favorite because it's the longest and it has so many details that really make me feel like I'm living in Hogwarts, and also because I've always been interested in stories that deal with people with PTSD and Harry suffering from that in this one. This one is really nice because it explores in a wider sense the whole romantic teenagers affairs, and yet it's also dark because of all the bad things happening to the family and friends of characters we like. But it's really daunting to imagine that Snape knows his really big test is coming. The conclusion is just superb. It always draws tears to my eyes because everyone at the end finds out who Severus Snape really was, but also because we lose characters that we love, and because at the end we have to say goodbye to the characters that did survive. I believe that for now, this is all I have to say about Harry Potter. Next week I shall be posting a review for Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which is a play that serves as a sort of sequel to the Harry Potter novels. And thank you for watching this video. I want to hear from you, and may you have a wonderful day. I'm Carolera, the Mental Traveler. Finite incantatem.